What is up, everybody? Turboverse TV here today. So we have to talk about the statement from Crystal Dynamics and how they pretty much threw Square Enix pretty much threw Crystal Dynamics under the bus for the Avengers game. Because recently the Guardians of the Galaxy game is getting a lot of praise in gaming media. People are loving that game. So it makes you think, since Guardians of the Galaxy is so great, what is going on with Avengers? And so Square Enix made a statement talking about the Avengers game. And they said Crystal Dynamics was the wrong fit for Marvel's Avengers, given its lack of experience with the games as a service model, said Square Enix. Square Enix president Yosuke Masuda said the company needed to learn from the game's disappointing performance. Like I said before, I said previously in other videos, I actually like the Avengers game. I just feel that the whole games as a service thing is what dragged it down drastically. Like, if they weren't trying to be so greedy with getting games as a service, they just made just focus on it being a good single player game. This game would have been highly successful, even praised as much as this Guardians of the Galaxy game is being right now. But because they focused, it was too greedy on getting they want those microtransactions and those different paying for skins and paying for your costumes and different upgrades. Because they were so greedy, we are in this position we're in today with this game. And they still haven't even released the Spider-Man DLC those for the PlayStation version. So I don't know. This is kind of a train wreck. But hopefully they learn from it. Like, it's kind of messed up. They're trashing the studio now. These developers are getting trashed. But it just sucks. Stop doing this whole games as a service nonsense. People don't like it. Nobody likes this games as a service stuff. Just focus on a good single player mode. That's all you need. But let's read some of the comments. Let's see. Throwing the studio under is interesting given what is happening with Crystal right now. Yeah, because I think they're helping with the Perfect Dark game as well. Right for Perfect Dark though. I really don't think that's what he meant. He's not blaming the studio, just that they should have focused on what CD's strengths are and not something new like games as a service. Yeah, the single player mode was perfect in my opinion. It was a great story. I enjoyed playing the story mode of Avengers, but it just was like the games as a service just ruined it pretty much. Square Enix is the wrong fit for Crystal Dynamics. Before Square make this game, you have about 2 years. Crystal, I don't know about this. Square, I'm not asking you, I'm telling you to do it. Now, Square, I never met this man in my life. Yeah, this is some crazy stuff going on between these two. Between this publisher and this developer. I really hope Microsoft acquires Crystal Dynamics so that now they can make a game they want to make. And no, Matsuda, the games as a service model was the wrong fit for the game. Wholeheartedly agree with this statement. They should have never went games as a service to begin with. It's like, you got the popular license of Avengers. Avengers Endgame was the highest grossing movie in theaters at one point, but I don't know. I think it is, or it currently got overtaken by Avatar. I'm not really sure, but even though that feat is crazy alone, and it's like, how do you have that license and you still flop the game that badly? Like, it's just ridiculous. Holy S, they were so right. After Avengers, I had no confidence in any other Marvel Square Enix game, and that made me not be excited for Guardians of the Galaxy. It probably wasn't fair since it's a different studio. And then Guardians of the Galaxy was a huge hit. I played both Guardians of the Galaxy on another level. I kind of gotta agree. The dialogue they got between the characters, the banter, feels just like you're playing the movie in a video game format. Like, all of their the characters' mannerisms, all their behavior, it's just the same as how it is in the movie. So definitely enjoy that game a lot. More super games like that, please. Yeah, I agree. GaaS Crystal Dynamics under Square Enix wings is not working out anymore. They know Crystal Dynamics for how many years now? Games as a service is a bad fit for the Avengers. Yeah. It's like, I wish more people would see that as well too. Like, the game isn't bad. It's just the game as a service nonsense. It just ruined that game. Maybe because Crystal Dynamics didn't want to make it, and the suit suggested a service game. Yeah, I'm starting to think it was Square Enix who decided to make that game games as a service because they saw how popular the license was and just wanted to be greedy off of it. Like, that's just as bad as making a cheap license game, like a cheap throwaway license game just because you got the property, you make some garbage associated with it just for some quick cash. This is just as bad because you got a popular license. You said, "Hey, we're gonna try to milk it to the fans to pay for these different outfits and stuff like that." So, they ruined such a perfectly good game. We probably won't see another Avengers game in a while. An actual Avengers game that's actually like action adventure game like that. You probably won't ever see a game like that again because they're gonna look at this how this game flopped and they say, hey, we're not gonna do Avengers anymore. So that's the that's the bad part. That's the most depressing part about this whole situation. Exactly what happened, most likely, seen it time and time again with giant publishers forcing devs to add games and service crap into games. Amazing that they were surprised by this. Yeah. You could just have any gamer up in there would have told them that, hey, instead of having all these different suits, have an actual gamer in there tell you, like, that, hey, this game service model is not going to work for this game. Just make a straightforward single player game. It's just frustrating. Getting pretty mad at how Square is throwing all their Western studios under the bus. Or they could have, focused on making a good game instead of forcing the devs to make a game as a service. I agree. Crystal Dynamics is an excellent studio under a different umbrella. They can shine again. They want Microsoft to acquire Crystal Dynamics. That'd be interesting if they do that. Then they started making hit after hit, and we realized it was actually Square Enix that was a problem all along. Sounds like they learned the wrong lesson. The problem wasn't CD. The problem was Square Enix wanted the games as a service game. Square Enix sells Crystal Dynamics. Microsoft comes to the rescue. I have come to save you. Yeah, I think Microsoft probably should buy them then at this point. Like, you got Square Enix talking spicy about the one company. Microsoft should buy them at this point. Put them back on Tomb Raider where they belong. Great Studios is not what they wanted it to be. Whoa, did I expect that from Square? Damn. Yikes, the disrespect. I really hope they're getting ready to sell them off to Microsoft. Finally played it and the game was just sabotaged. Fitting a AAA game into what is basically a mobile game feels bad for CD and their talents that were home, not wasted but misused. The game as a service model was the wrong fit. So you see repeated comments people are saying, and even myself are saying, that the game as a service model was terrible for this game. It just made no sense whatsoever. Then we got Guardians of the Galaxy, and this is what Avengers should have been. Yeah, a lot of people are saying they wish they had an Avengers game as great as Guardians of the Galaxy. And it shows. It definitely shows. It was like the team who made the Guardians of the Galaxy game. They showed they actually had passion and love for the actual lore of that series, of that character, those characters. But this one just felt like a soulless, just like a copy of Avengers, just to make a quick buck off of. In other news, water is wet. Well, if this has put a dampener on our day, then stop effing supporting the game. This guy got pissed with that comment. No, Crystal Dynamics isn't at fault here. The problem is you took them off a game series they wanted to make and develop some cash grab MCU ripoff Avengers game. To those who think CD got pushed under the bus, just remember they weren't held at gunpoint to make the effing game. Knowing game server wasn't a strength they held. I'm pretty sure they pretty much was held at gunpoint. I mean, not necessarily they weren't getting threatened with their lives, but their livelihood as developers was being threatened to put the games as a service model up in there. They can't just say, no, we don't want to put games as a service in our product. It's like they all lose their jobs. So it's like, of course. More proof Square Enix is us. It's kind of seeming that way. I don't know. Avengers didn't fail because Crystal Dynamics didn't know how to do the games as a service model. It failed because it used the games as a service model, period. Throwing Crystal Dynamics under the bus. Well, you just think about it. I'm going to interrupt this right here, but just look at all these successful superhero games we got. None of them have to use the games as a service model. We had the Spider-Man games. People they clamor about the Spider-Man PS4, and then the Miles Morales came after that. The Batman Arkham games, the new Guardians of the Galaxy game. All these highly rated superhero games, they have one thing in common. They don't have this stupid games as a service model in it. They want to be like such greedy, just corporate suits, and they just saw that money, and they ruined a good game with that. That's just so disappointing. That's so annoying. But he said, throwing Crystal on the bus for what is called a failing of the publisher is disgusting. F you, Square Enix. Yeah. No S. More like a game as a service when the Avengers try again. That's corporate for you. They make the dumbest business decisions and blame everyone else, but then with the S doesn't work. Yeah. So I'm gonna conclude it right here. People are pretty much saying the same comments at this point, but yeah, this is definitely on Square Enix's fault. I don't blame Crystal Dynamics. I know people want to blame Crystal Dynamics. I don't blame Crystal Dynamics for this mess up right here. I think it's strictly on the suits who forced them to put the games as a service model in this game, which kind of ruined this game. So I know people they want to show their vitriol for Crystal Dynamics, but I don't think the vitriol needs to go to Crystal Dynamics. But I think it needs to be aimed solely on Square Enix. But those are my thoughts. Definitely share your thoughts down below. Leave a like this video. And as always, thanks for watching, and peace.